talents of all likes. And we've been batting 100, and today we will not fail again. We will not fail again. We have an artist hailing from the East Atlanta. Well, let me do this. Let me do this right. East Atlanta's finest. Let's put some respect on the name, The Grind, and we're gonna talk a little bit about that. You know, we're going to talk a little about that. But before we go in, because I know people, they like, oh, we want to hear the music. And shout out to Rush. Rush is in the check-in already real fast. Shout out to Rush on the check-in. Ivan, I see you. So the people are coming in. And like always, we're bringing you some dope stuff. So we're going to go into this visual real quick. The artist goes by the name Miss Coxx. This record right here is called Go Ahead. Check this out, and we're going to bring her right on set. You know, time is money, and I don't like wasting either. So check this out, y'all. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's go.
SHU studio. Let me get busy.
I got it all.
Oh, I like the sound of that.
We here for the Miss Coxx experience.
The Miss Coxx experience?
Yeah, where the rich niggas at?
Is that a wife beater? Coming up.
Hello, ladies. Hello.
Hello, I like your manners, but where the fuck your clothes at?
Hi. Hey, Chucklehead. You get the tune?
Oh yeah. It's Coxx Time.
Rich nigga got some money, tell him go get it. Bad bitch, spin it on me, baby, I'm with it. Ass fat, slim waist, I'm better not pretty. All that broke talk, I'm about to cash. And not the pennies. Go ahead, go ahead. Ass bustin' out the Valentino, get my cash in a row. Talking bingo, shake that ass 7-Eleven like casino. Roll that dice, don't think twice, talking cash. What's the price? Used to basic bitches, I'ma change your life. I'm by business, so I swipe. Think I'm tricking, bitch, I might be. Yeah, bitch, I might be. Go ahead. She twerk, she bad. He can't ever pass on her. She got all that ass on her. Just work, she with it. Bend over, she lit it. Go big Bob, what you gon' do? Hit the bed, baby, it go squeak, squeaky. Legs to the wall, I let it lead. It's licking. Call me Quill, now he go to sleep. Sleepy. He in love, he call me his the free. She freaky. Bend it over, pin me to the wall, and I go crazy. Loco. Make him lose his mind, and now he calling me his baby. Hey, baby. I can't be your baby, no, me driving nigga crazy. Thought I couldn't ride, and now he calling me Miss Daisy. Up and down and up and down and up and down, pogo. Baby, you the shit, hell yeah, cause I know so. I know it. I can have a team, but I look poppin', my shit solo. I'm a million, then some, baby, I'm the combo. Oh yeah, go ahead. She twerk, she bad. He can't ever pass on her. She got all that ass on her. Just work, she with it. Bend over, she lit it. Go big Bob, what you gon' do?
Shout out to everybody that's tuning in right now. I see you on Instagram. I see you on TikTok. Shout out to everybody on the app. Shout out to Russia. Shout out to the Philippines. I see everybody's intrigued. I got one message early, and it was like, from the flyer alone, they was tapping in. Now, okay, my brother, I know the eyes and everything was good, but I hope you listening to the mind as well, because we're going to have a really dope conversation. This artist been putting in work for a very long time. If you don't know, you will find out today. Like mentioned, she's hailing out of East Atlanta. She goes by East Atlanta's finest. Let's give her a round of applause. Let's bring to the front and stage, we have Miss Coxx. How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
First and foremost, thank you for tapping in today. We love having talents of all likes, and we have between executives and artists that come on tap in every week to get some gems and some insights. I want to go right into it real quick, but I would like you to to set the tone, right? I want you to take me. Let me stop the music for this. I want you to take me back to that time you came home from school and Tutu was cooking up something in the basement, and then you rapped on it. I want you to take me to how that was when you got to hear yourself on some music.
Well, like you said, I came home from school. A family friend was in the basement. He always used to make music, make beats, and all of that, record. And he was making a beat, and I was like, "Oh, I like this. I want to rap today." He was like, "You want to rap?" I was like, "Yeah." So he was like, "Okay, shoot, let me see what you got." And he put it on, and he literally let me rap. And he was like, "What?" He was like, "Okay, let's record it then." We recorded it, burned it down on the disc, played it for my mother. She was like, "This what you want to do?" I'm like, "Yep, I want to rap."
So now, from walking and saying I want to rap, was there a music bug before that time? Like, were you like secretly spitting your bars here and there, or is one day it just clicked?
No, I mean, I've always been a true lover of music, should I say. I went to like the Usher was my first concert I ever went to. Chris Brown. I've always was a fan of Missy Elliott. I grew up with the singer Case because he's family to me. He's married into our family, or he was at that time. So okay. I was just always around music and people that were into music. I never really was like, oh, I want to do it, until literally just one day I was like, I'm a rap. And that's how it came about.
Like, just I'm a rap, and it's good enough to record, because usually your first rap, they'd be like, all right, let's take it back and let's record. So it was actually good to record. Now, how old were you that moment, in that very moment?
At 10.
You was 10. You know what girls were doing at 10? They, you know what I'm saying? They was playing double dutch and all that. You was spitting balls. Now, from 10, and I know at the age of 15, you did your very first performance.
Tour.
Between, so you was at tour 16, the Scream, right? Mm-hmm. But your very first performance before the tour, what was the transition from 10 in that very moment? Were you still working on your craft, or you just went into the tour and just like how you went into rap?
I think the transition was just more so younger me, 10-year-old me was like, oh, I can do it. And then 15-year-old me was like, okay, since you experimented with this and know that you actually can do it, now let's go to do a whole song. Like, then I went from my house studio to like a outsourced studio, full-fledged recording engineer, all of that stuff like that. Then I started doing shows. I debuted like a full song at my 15th birthday party. My mom had rented out a venue. It had a stage in it. We had a DJ, other performers. Like, it was big for a 15-year-old party. And that was my first time like really performing. Then from there, I started doing like a whole bunch of shows around Atlanta, around the city, at all the malls, West End, Greenbrier. That's how I basically grew up and performed with Lotto, Super Peach, all of that. Like, we ran the same circle of artists in Atlanta growing up and performing.
You, at a very young age, you had a lot of quick experiences in the music business, especially performing, getting on stage. It's not an easy thing. How did you prepare for those moments?
In the mirror, being in the mirror, literally just being in the mirror. And I was like, okay, cool. And that's how I used to have to start, just watching myself in the mirror and then performing, and then just literally perfecting the craft. After 16, that's when I started doing artist development. I had a vocal coach that was, practicing my diction and stuff like that. She made me study Moni Loves, Moni in the Middle, and work on my stage presence and everything. I feel like artists nowadays don't really do the artist development.
That's true.
I did it so much younger. I was able to get ahead of the curve when it comes to being an artist and, media training and stuff like that. So
there's artists who have years in the game and can't handle, being on tour with other artists. You were at 16, you were on the Scream tour. Could you talk about that experience and what it did to you as an artist?
Well, for me, I think it was just fun. And I simply say that because I was a kid, but I was on tour with other kids. It wasn't like I was on tour with like grown people where I was forced to grow up. Everybody was able to still be a kid. Everybody was still in school. They necessarily wasn't in real school. They was homeschool and stuff like that. But everyone, they played pranks and just was able to have a good time and be kids. And I think for me, that was the fun part about tour. Like, even though everyone's working, they still were able to just have a good time.
Nice, nice. Now, were you going by a super tank that time?
I was, yes.
The super tank. We're gonna talk a little bit about that and the name change from there. But what was one thing that from that moment and that experience that you take from that moment and carry on with you to this very moment today?
I mean, I feel like it just the main thing that I would take from there to now would still just be the grind and the work ethic. Because even with being a kid, you still on tour, you still have to work. So me now being an adult into my adulthood, like you still have to work, you still have to grind, you still have so much things that you have to do and accomplish, but you still got to put the focus in what you really need to be doing.
So let me ask you this: after tour, like your tour is done and you are after tour and you heading home, how was the experience of people dealing with you? They usually say money change people, and a lot of times it changes the people who see us with money or situations or opportunity. Did you face that coming off a tour, especially at that young age?
Not really, just because I feel like my mother kept me grounded for the most part. So it was like, you got to stay humble. That's her main thing. It's like, be humble, be humble. So I didn't really get like overly consumed with everything. And then when it came to the people, I knew how to like navigate around them and figure out like what was their main MO.
Let's talk about mom for a little bit. She wasn't playing. She put you in school. She was like, "Nah, we taking care of this." How influential was having a mother who knew and wanted to balance out, your creativity, but also wanted to set you up and make sure that you were on the right path?
I definitely feel like it was very much so influential, and at this, well, not even this point, at that point, I I'm glad and thankful that we were able to realize that I needed her to be my mother versus trying to be like, we didn't take the momager role. Like we tried to, but it just didn't work out, and it was okay. She was perfectly fine because my mother never wanted to be in the music industry, entertainment. Like she didn't care nothing about it. So because I took a liking to it, she had to, she had to come into it or whatever. But once we got around the people that were doing the booking agents and other stuff like that, and that were more skilled on the game and stuff, I feel like she was like, okay, cool, good. I trust you with them. Go.
And
Is that music still playing?
Is there music playing? Yeah, there's music playing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's some music in the background playing. Sorry about that. So now let's talk about the transition a little bit of taking the music to the next level in your artistry from that moment. And one of the things I want to ask, you did a lot of things that had business orientated structures.
Yeah.
How important was, and I don't know if you understood the business at that time, but how important was it to have the surrounding entities or people in your business or handling your business?
I would say that it was very much so useful and needed, just because no matter the age, you could still get screwed over in the music industry.
Oh,
whether
yeah.
you're a kid, whether you're an adult, like it happens like that. So that's what I said. My mother wasn't necessarily my momager, but she was always around. So she never was just like, okay, bye, I'm gonna go to Florida and you just go do whatever you want to do type of thing. It was like, no, I'm still gonna be here and I'm gonna be hands on in what you have going on. But I know that, I want you to have a different agent, a different manager and stuff like that. I want to be more so of an overseer. And that's very basically what my mother does now. Like I have my own manager, we have agents, we have, booking this or that, like different people that are in place. And she's more so to oversee. She's like, okay, how's the Miss Coxx business going? What we doing? So she definitely helps me put my business together and make sure all my paperwork and stuff like that is in order to make sure everything runs smoothly. But she knows like, okay, cool. Let me separate. Or I'll be like, hey, look, I need mom this time. I don't need that. So.
Gotcha. That's well balanced. When was the moment that you felt like you were solidified in your business? Like, was there a certain stage and moment that you looked and you were like, I'm on it?
Every day is something new, and I feel like it's always growth and elevation. So I can't necessarily say that I've arrived or I've completely figured it all out. Honestly, I have not. That's why I say I'm grateful for my mother, because she'll be like, okay, let me take care of your EINs and let me take care of this, and we're gonna put this person on payroll and that. Like, so she's definitely she does really, really good administrative work, and she just keeps me abreast on everything. Like, okay, this is your new account, this. So
And I respect that. You most definitely have to have that because it makes everything in the transitions of business much smoother. So let's talk about the Go Ahead record. I've heard the record before we even had to sit down and talk. And going into that, what was the impact of that record, and where did you want it to go or land after that?
Honestly, I didn't know. Like, my producer called me and was like, "Hey, I got something for you." I said, "Okay, what's that?" And I put up on him at the studio about 2 3 days later, and he played it for me. I fell in love with it, and I just literally just went in there and just started rapping it, type of thing. That song took me maybe like an hour and a half to complete. It
Okay.
really wasn't like a lot of thought and effort into it, and that was it. I didn't think nothing else of it, and shoot, now Go Ahead has charted. It's been on a whole bunch of radio worldwide, overseas. I'm not going to say I didn't know that it was a hit, but I definitely didn't think much of it because I felt like it was simple. Like, how you have to be like, certain things be too good to be true. So I'm like, ain't no way that it's this easy and just doing that. But sometimes you just got to give things their grace and take it for what it is.
That is true. That is true. And a lot of times with artists, we and I say we because I'm an artist first, but we have our love or connection to something, and then people just connect to something. You're like they jumping on that. Okay, it's not bad, but that's not where I was with it. Now, as far as you as a brand, you do so much, and we do know this is a male dominated business. Have you ever had the hardships of having to do double work or push harder because of that? And if you have, what keeps you going or balanced in that?
I feel like, honestly, being blatant and transparent, my relationship with God. Like, when you know that you're walking in your purpose and fulfilling out your gift that God gave to you, which is what you do the best with the least amount of effort, I feel like there is no stopping you. Being in such a male dominated industry, of course, it's always going to have its ups and downs. You're always going to be overlooked. You're always going to be over sexualized. You're always going to be, shoot, I can go on and on about it. And then, people don't respect you for your talent. They look at you as something to smash, unfortunately. So I go hard and I go the extra mile to make sure that people like, no, you're gonna respect me and I have talent. Like, I can do the pussy rap, but I also do other things to where, I also can speak on other things to where it's like, oh, okay, cool, she actually has talent. So it's like, you're gonna respect me.
I respect that, most definite. Now, does your schooling of being a public relations, has that been something that you was able to take with you and help guide you along into your business as well?
Yes, I would say yes, and that was the main reason of why I chose that particular major in school, because initially I wanted to go into journalism broadcasting, and then from there I was like, I want to change my concentration to something more geared towards music, because at that point I was going more so full fledged on music. I took 4 years off to go to college, but I was like, let me put it my all into it, so then when I do finish college, it can be to what I needed to do. So with integrated public relations, I had to take, social media management classes, marketing classes, content this and do so different branding. We had to do PR and branding. So with going to school for that, because it was something that I was already interested in doing, and then I was able to utilize it to my advantage, I was able to flourish in that. I graduated summa cum laude. So I was like, okay, boom, now I can put it to good use.
There you
So,
go.
but now other people come to me with like, hey, can you concept this? What do you see for mine? Can you brand this? Can you do that? Can you do this? I'm like, sure, whatever.
Yeah, there you go. You add in the information that you learn as you go. Now we know social media is a big part of like how we get our music out or our brands out or just in content. How do you feel that it affects you or added to you in your brand that other artists could possibly utilize to excel their image or their product?
Social media is honestly what you make it. I'm gonna say that. Sometimes people like try to purposely do things like clickbait and make things a way on purpose to go viral. I prefer just to take the organic route and just do whatever comes naturally to me. So I just go with the flow when it comes to social media, honestly. Just making sure that you make effective content. That would be the main thing.
Someone on the app just asked a question and they said it seems like you have a great team around you. how did you develop picking those people around you to ensure that they have your best interests?
Fire some people. No,
That too,
you
yes.
gotta fire some people and hire some people and fire some people and hire some people. I've been through, I want to say two managers. Two. I had two managers prior to my manager. 2/3. I don't remember. Maybe it was two managers before mine. And the funny thing is, this manager that I currently have, Zeus, he has known me since I was 16 years old when I went on the Scream tour. So he had an artist. He was managing a group at that time too. So we all was on the Scream tour together. And it's just funny how it came full circle to now he's managing me. He no longer has the group that he had, but he's managing me. So I think having a person or a team, having people around you that know you, like everybody on my team has been knowing me for a while. It's not people that I just recruited from the streets. Now, of course, certain things, if it's like branding or certain things that you need, you could find people. But my interpersonal team, like my team, is literally people that have known me. My sister is my assistant. My best friend is my hype girl. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, my mother does my administrative work. She's the COO of my label that I have. So my other sister is also my CFO. So everybody, it's all intertwined. My dad owns his own limousine chauffeuring company, so he drives my Sprinter or my trucks if need be. If not, then we have another driver. So everybody around me is literally my family. I put my family in positions to win, put them on payroll, so everybody, everybody eats.
And that's how that's your tribe, that's your community, and that's the best way to maximize the safety around you and the people around you as well. You mentioned something real quick, and we're gonna touch on that a little later, but I wanted to go into a moment, and I don't want to stick too long in it. I think when I was doing my backstory and my research on you, I know in August 21st, back in 2001, there was an incident that happened, and I don't really want to focus on the incident, but I want to talk about your empowerment and your strength of coming out of that incident. So if you want to talk a little bit about the incident, but I really want to focus on your strength and how you were able to take that incident and become stronger.
Well, honestly, it took a lot. Like I'm to be completely transparent, I'm not gonna say that it was the easiest thing to do or to come back from. For those that don't know, I was shot August 21st of 2021. So almost 5 full years ago. And I think just having to go through the phases of first not being able to walk, not being able to shower, for like 3-4 months. And after that, partially, having to use a crutch to get around. And then after partial weight bearing, it was weight bearing that's tolerated, where it's like, okay, you can stand up, but if your legs start to hurt, then, sit down or anything like that. And then after that, I had to go to what the doctor said was regular life or normal life. But I feel like life is never the same or never normal when you experience something so traumatic as being shot type of thing, and you're facing a literal near-death experience. The first hospital I went to, the doctors, they patched me up and was like, oh yeah, you're free to go. But they also was like, if the bullet would have went higher or lower, I would have bled out either way. So I'm just, grateful to still be here. When I left that hospital, I went to Grady, which is in Atlanta, the #1 trauma hospital. Mostly everybody. I'm not going to assume that everybody, but if you know Atlanta, you know Grady is the #1 trauma hospital. And I'm not even going to say it's in Atlanta. I think it's I don't know, it might be in the States, like in the United States is the #1. So Grady definitely did what they needed to do. They removed the bullet from me, and I think that would be that. The transition or the strength after that was just a lot of, again, prayer, because I did a lot of soul searching, having to ask God, like, why me? Why did I go through this?
Yeah.
And, you're not supposed to question God and all of that, but at the same time, it wasn't more so like a why God, but more so, what are you trying to tell me? So sometimes when God is trying to get you to see something or understand something, and you're negating it or not, or looking past it, he takes drastic measures to get you to understand why he did something. So I had to figure out, like, okay, what were you trying to tell me that I wasn't listening to? So as the time progressed, I just realized that, everything happens for a reason. And I'm not saying like, oh, I should have got shot. But then at the same time, it's like, okay, maybe you did have to go through something that drastic for you to realize the situation, the people, what you were doing, who you were around was not beneficial or favorable to you. So that's what I ultimately took away from that. And that was the message that God was trying to get me to understand. So knowing that, walking in that, living by that, and then figuring out like, okay, you removed me from these people, but am I not supposed to do music no more? Like, what am I supposed to do from here, from there?
Yeah.
And I was able to finally write, because I was having writer's block. I wasn't able to just have free thoughts. My mind was on everything else but music. Like, I couldn't even think to put it in words. Like, still to this day, I have yet made a song about the incident that happened. I've been kind of like shying away from it. But I feel like eventually I'll be able to be 100% vulnerable and do a song and that can speak about the accident or incident or whatever. But I think it comes with time. It comes with time, and everyone healing process is different. So I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
like, okay, well, it is what it is, because every day again, like, you still live with it. I have a metal plate and 3 screws that connect the ball and socket to my hip for the rest of my life. It doesn't dissolve. It doesn't do anything. If I stand up too long, I'm in pain. If it's cold, I'm in pain. If I bend or turn the wrong way, things it just is what it is. So like I said, in due time, I'll be able to do a song about it. But I finally just recently, well, last year, came out with saying what happened
What
to me.
happened?
Like, yeah, I really wasn't even speaking on it. People just like, well, where you been and stuff like that. And I just was like, oh yeah. So it
Gotcha.
like it just comes with time for sure.
I got you. And mental health, it happens on all different kind of levels and stages, and especially having a traumatic situation happen to you, balancing your physical and your mental health is very important. What would you say to an artist who faced, and not necessarily something like you, but a traumatic moment? How did you were able to keep your mental health, or work on your mental health to get back to where you were comfortable?
Again, a lot of prayer. That be and I hate to be like overly religious, but just a lot of prayer. And because I was in such a dark place, in a dark mode, that I just like, I didn't want to get out the bed. I didn't want to maneuver or do anything like that. And I'm grateful to have my mother that was like, get up, get up, get up, get up. Like, she was, get up, let's go. You don't sit in your room. Let's go downstairs. Let's watch a movie. Like, let's have company. Like, she just was like, no, 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 no. She definitely was on my head. So I would say prayer, deepen your relationship or strengthen your relationship with God, and then also have people around you that genuinely care about you and genuinely want to know, like, hey, did you eat? Hey, how you feeling today? Stuff like that. And not just of how you feel physically, but where are you mentally? Where are you spiritually? Where are you emotionally? Because you definitely go on an emotional roller coaster when you face something traumatic, not just being shot, but just something traumatic as a whole is definitely an emotional roller coaster. You start like, oh, I'm cool. Then you like, wait a minute, am I cool? Oh my God, I'm not cool. I'm having a breakdown. Okay, like,
Yeah.
you literally go through so much.
There's this show, we are conversation based on this show, and we have artists of all likes that watch. And throughout this conversation, there's only one question that I continuously ask every single person that comes on the show. And I would like to ask you this question at this very moment. If you could look back at the young Miss Coxx and tell yourself anything, what would you say and why?
So what I say not normally, it generally changes from day to day. And what I'm going to say today, if I can tell young Miss Coxx, what would I say to her? It would be, do you? And I say because younger me, I was such a people pleaser. I care what everybody think, everybody said, like, just like I was overly wanting to please everybody. So now I just want to say F them and do you type of thing.
Now,
Now I'm able to be like, okay, I'm unapologetic and I don't care. Like, and I say no, I don't care, and call it a day and not feel bad. Before I'd be like, oh my God, I said no. Oh, I can't believe I said no. So I think if I would have started that sooner, that would have definitely helped me grow a little more or faster. But again, everything happens for a reason.
That is true. Everything does happen for a reason. Now let's talk about music now. Like, where you at with music now? What could we expect? What's in the works? What's happening with Miss Coxx today?
So music now, I dropped an EP on my birthday, which was January 30th. It's called Three Piece. Next up, I have some singles that are dropping off of a project that I did with Mr. Hanky, which is a super producer from Atlanta. He produced for the City Girls, Lil Duval. He just T.I. song Trauma Bond that just came out is #1 on the urban radio. So he's definitely a super producer. So him and I have a project coming out very, very, very soon. But we're gonna drop a single within the next few weeks, actually. So that is that as far as the music is concerned, and more music, more projects, more videos for sure.
I don't like separating artists, right? And what I mean by that, I don't like saying female artists, male artists. You know, a creative is a creative, but we do have a lot of female artists that come on the show or watch the show, and there's a lot that's listening right now. What kind of advice that you can have to them, to upscale or enhance, their musical situation or their creative situation to get to, places where they could explore?
I would just say be unapologetic. Like, do what makes you happy and don't think about it. Just do it, type of thing. Because for me, being an overthinker, I'd be like, do I want to do this? I don't know if I want to do this. So I would just tell everybody, like, get out of all growth requires discomfort. So get out of your comfort zone. If you're in your comfort zone, you can't grow because you're going to stay where you feel comfortable at. So get out of your comfort zone and grow. That's what I would say.
This is most definitely true. This is most now in music, in this day and age, there's a lot of great recording artists, and what I mean by that, they don't take the time to practice on their visuals or their performance, and I was going through YouTube and I was seeing a lot of music videos of yours. Now, when you're tackling the expression of your brand and who you are to the people, is there a particular method or image that you're putting out, or is case by case?
It's case by case, depending on the song or what message I want to convey at that time.
Nice, nice. I like that. Do you have a favorite one of your own, visual wise?
I think Go Ahead is probably my favorite visual still to this day.
Okay. I could take that. I could take that. Now, I wanna take this time real quick. That we know we're in the era of everyone getting their flowers. Like that's a big thing. That everyone's getting their flowers. But here on MJMG presents SHU Radio, we don't give our flower, we give our honor. And I want to take this time to give you your honor for not only the plights and the stuff that you were able to endure, but the dedication throughout the times and generations of it, consistently growing as an individual. And as today, with all the accolades and all the moments that you have endured and that you do have, you still use this one word where you was like, I'm still learning, I'm still getting, and to acknowledge not knowing everything but still willing to put forth. We want to give you a round of applause and honor you live on the show right now in front of the people. So I know you mentioned you got a project coming out, but I want to ask you, as far as Miss Coxx, right? As far as Miss Coxx, when someone says Miss Coxx, what do you want that name and that brand to represent?
A household name as a whole, whether it's through music, whether it's through movies, whether it's through cosmetics, whether it's through food, any of that. Like I said, a household name, and it's Coxx Time. I want those to be all hand in hand.
Hand in hand. Now, I know you're public relations. Do you got a master plan in store making this happen?
Of course, absolutely.
I knew
I got
that.
tricks up my sleeve for sure.
I knew that was already in play because you already been making your name across households across the land already, and you most definitely will continue to. Now, if someone is interested in working with you or booking you or collaborating, or they make beats as well, and they're like, oh, I got something for you, what's the best way for people to get to you if they interested?
I'm honestly going to say the best way to get to me is going to be through my manager, Zeus. which his information is in my bios on my all social medias. It's everywhere. Or shoot me a DM, but I'm honestly terrible with the DMs.
Okay.
So that's why, because even with that, I have a member of my team that goes through my messages and stuff like that, and gets to filter through and figure out what's going on. But if you want like to handle business for real, go through Zeus.
Yeah, it is. And
It's hard out for me to just like weed through the DMs. Like I get a lot of DMs, and some DMs be about business, other DMs just be about bullshit.
nonsense. Yeah. We get it. We get it. We most definitely get it. Could you say those Instagrams for those that are on the app right now who are just listening, so that way if they want to catch up with you, tap in, see what's going on, they most definitely could follow.
So my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, anything, anywhere you follow people, listen to music, everything is the same as MZCOXX. Again, that's MZCOXX.
There you go. And before I let you go, is there any final word, shout out, anything that you want to say, get into the universe, let the people know, anything that you want to get off your chest? The floor is yours.
First, I wanted to say thank you for having me on your platform and allowing me to, just spend some time with you and have a conversation with you. So for that, I'm grateful. Thank you to everybody that's tuned in, that's watching. Y'all make sure y'all follow me. Like I said, MZCOXX. And again, it's Coxx Time. Oh, yeah.
There you go. Let's give you another round of applause. We most definitely gonna keep our eyes on you, see what you got cooking up, and look forward to possibly having you come on and talk about that project with the super producer and all the stuff that you're going on, because there's nothing but greatness ahead in your road. So again, thank you for jumping on the show.
Thank you.
And you have a blessed night.
You as well.
Have a great one. Shout out to everybody that's on right now. That was Miss Coxx. We're gonna go into a visual. We're gonna go into another visual. We went into Go Ahead. We're gonna go into a record featuring Little Durk, which is called Headboard. But before we do that, I gotta give you the last word. I gotta give you the final word. If you didn't get anything from today, take this from you. Hardships, whether you walk into them or they walk into you, will occur. Now, there's hardships of many different altitudes, many different variations, many degrees of how hard they impact you. But one thing's for certain, in each hardship, there is a lesson and a question. Yes, there's a lesson and a question. And you can ask the questions, why me? How did this happen? But the most powerful question in a hardship is, what am I gonna do now? Am I gonna succumb to what's holding me, what's hurting me, what hit me, what tripped me, whatever it was? Am I gonna be held to that? Or I'm gonna take that and heal? Am I gonna take that and grow? Am I gonna take that and learn the lessons of what occurred, so that way I could get tougher skin? That way I could get more insight to maneuver around what exists. And sometimes, no matter what you do, you're gonna face something. But there's two things that regardless you will have, and that's the question: what is this going to do for me, and what I'm gonna do from now? And the heal. Now, if you don't heal, it don't matter what you do. And healing doesn't have to be fast. It could be a slow burn. But I tell you something, success is the continuation on. Once you stop, that's the only true essence of failure. So when you reach your hardships, yes, ask yourself, what am I going to get out of this? What am I going to do with this? And continue to heal. And maybe it'll be fast. Maybe it'll be slow. But you have to continue on. And that's the only true way to get going on your journey. Shout out to everybody that's on the night. That was the final word. I want to give a shout out to everybody that was on TikTok, LinkedIn, Apple TV, Google TV, all the TVs, and of course my consistent fans, and I don't even want to say fans, my consistent people that jump on the show to show love on Instagram. Keep creative, keep going, and remember, ask yourself, what are we doing? And if you need to heal, find a way to do it. This record right here is called Headboard. This is Miss Coxx featuring Little Durk. Y'all have a good night. See y'all next Monday. Also check us out this Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern for the A&R desk. We are gonna have classes in session, and you know I'm gonna be bringing some new gems for y'all. So let's check this out, y'all. This is Headboard.
Hey, Chucklehead, get the tools?
It's Coxx Time.
Baby, grab that headboard, grabbing on your feet. I know that your head on, suck it with no teeth. You know it's a murder when I go underneath. Can't go off no rumors, steady line on me. Baby, grab that headboard, grabbing on your feet. I know that your head on, suck it with no teeth. You know it's a murder.